everyone, Sheree here. Today I'm going to create a scrapbook layout using the November Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted Gratitude Kit. I also have some of the papers from the add-on kit as well. So I've actually chosen this really pretty colourful paper as my background. It's actually going to be the border of this page, and I've cut some white cardstock down to 11 by 11 inches. And I'm also going to use a couple of the other papers. This one here, it's got this awesome text pattern on the back, but because it has all these little cards, one of them actually had this hip hip hooray. So I've actually cut that one out to use because the photo that I'm scrapping today was when we went to the Commonwealth Games here on the Gold Coast last year. So that's very appropriate. I've also got some of this grid paper to use as well. I've cut out a piece about that size, so that's ready to go. I've also got some of the chipboard pieces from the Life Crafted kit here. Absolutely love these. I've got the vellum stars to use out of the kit. There's some of those vellum speech bubbles as well. I've also got some of the tiny word stickers to use. They're really cute. And I've got a couple of stamp sets as well. So there's probably this whoop stamp off the gratitude stamp set that was in the kit. And I've also got this cute stamp set as well. It's got the date line down the bottom here, which I love. It's also got Epic Day and a few things that would be appropriate for this spread. So this one is one of the stamp sets that you can buy separately in the shop. So that's a really cute little stamp set to have. Alright, my journaling strips are printed out ready to go, and I do have this 6x4 card out of the Life Crafted kit that I want to use. I'm thinking I'm going to actually put my photo on there. Ideally that would be flipped with the way everyone's looking, but I'm just going to go with it. I think I'm just going to use it as is. Okay, so I've got all my bits and pieces ready to go. I think I might even cut the middle of this paper out, so I've got some of this to use for another project. So I'll go and do that, and I'll stick my white cardstock down, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to put the rest together today. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I've stitched around the edge of the white cardstock there, and now I'm going to go ahead and stick that 6x4 card at the center bottom of the page. I'm just making sure I've got enough room to overlap that photo, because I do want the photo to sort of hang down off of that card a little bit. So I'm making sure it's nice and straight with my T-square ruler, and then I'm going to tuck that grid paper just under the left-hand side of that card. And now I'm going to add some stitching to that. So the stitching's done, and I'm going to now tuck in that hooray piece under the right hand side of that card, and I do have some foam tape underneath that just to sit it up off the page a little bit, adding a little bit of dimension there. And now my photo can go on as well. And I like that because I've just positioned that photo down off the card a little bit, you do see the green bordering that photo. So now I've got those two vellum speech bubbles, and I didn't want to use adhesive behind these, so I'm just going to go straight to my sewing machine and secure those down, trying to make sure they're as straight as possible. So that is done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of those tiny word stickers. So that one says happy to be here, and the other one says yippee. Alright, so that is now done. Now I've got some of those vellum stars. So I'm just positioning a few of these around the page, thinking about how I'm going to secure those. My tiny attacher didn't quite reach in far enough. I'm just grabbing another star for that bottom left corner. And then I decide I'm going to use my long arm stapler to secure these in place. So I'm just looking for that now. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, staple these ones down. I'll do that green one next. I'll just reposition it so that it's overlapping that speech bubble. And now I've just got that little pink star, but then I realized that the staple was a little bit too big for that one. So I'm going to pull that staple out really carefully, flip it over, and just use my nail to just fill in the hole there, just squashing the cardstock back down. And I'm going to just move that star over so that my tiny attacher can reach. And now that one is secured as well. Okay, so moving on to the top part of the page, and I've got a large vellum star to go up there. So I'm just making sure it's nice and centered, and I will use adhesive behind this one because I'm planning on adding a circular chipboard piece to the center, so you won't see where that adhesive is. So making sure that one's centered, and I'm going to add some stitching across that one just to add a little bit of texture. And now that chipboard piece can go right in the middle there. So now I'll go ahead and add my journaling strips, and I will go ahead and stitch across each of those as well. So you can see there, stitching is done, and I also added some stitching to those tiny word stickers as well. So next up, I'll do a little bit of stamping. I've got that whoop word from the Gratitude stamp set. So I'm just going to do it onto this plain white cardstock, and then I can cut these out to use on the page. So that one's cut out, ready to go. And then I'm going to do that little date line stamp from the other little stamp set there. Just make sure it's nice and straight on my block. And I will stamp this a few times just to get the best image I can. I did end up smudging the very end of the line a couple of times. I don't know why, just the way I was doing it, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and add the date to each of those, and then I'll use the best one. So I end up using that one at the top there. Alright, so I just organise myself, and I'm going to use some foam dots behind these to add some dimension. So just adding those foam dots on the back there. That one's going to go onto that yellow speech bubble. And then the date I'm going to put at the bottom there, just overlapping the left edge of that photo. So adding those foam dots again. I think I needed one more on there, so I'm just repositioning those a little bit. And just as I went to stick this down, I realized that I'd cut that out a little bit wonky, so I carefully peel that one back up, give it another little trim on that end as well, and then that one can go back onto the page. Alright, so I decided I want a little bit more colour on that left hand side of the green 6x4 card. So I've grabbed another piece of paper from the add-on kit and just cut a little strip, and I love that pink that's added to that side of the page now. So there's a closer look at this page. I'm really happy with how this has come together with all that fun colour. So let me know if you've got any questions. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've put this on together using the November Live Crafted kit from Citrus Twist Kits. I'll leave a link down below to Citrus Twist as well, and I'll leave you with these photos. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.